Greetings nerdy list aficionados, and welcome back to Top 10 Nerd. Today we're about to do a list that, well, it pained me. So this is the top 10 superheroes who deserve the hate they get. Now let's get the caveats out of the way right away. You may love these characters. I love a lot of them. Some genuinely and some I like hating. This is gonna focus on in-canon reasons, mostly. Sometimes with a side of real world spilling in. But it's gonna be predicated on the fact that the hate has to have been garnered in universe. Also, wibbly wobbly timey wimey continuity. So some of these are gonna be past and we're gonna be in the future, but the point is they're all valid because it happened. Also, it's cool to hate or love who you want. Don't let any list sway you. Like I said, I love some of these people, but they totally deserve the hate. Also, half of them were people Amanda said didn't deserve the hate. So yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Are you just trying? You're just trying to perpetrate the hate in the comments for my list.
It's a list about hate. It needs more hate.
All right. Well, you know what? Actually, some of these I don't even argue with Sasha on. So you know what? Take it away, Sasha. Let's go.
You see how much hate they deserve? It's changing her mind.
It's changing my mind. I don't know.
Alright, let's do this. Get ready to take a sip from your haterade. Number 10. Fight Man. So Fight Man is designed to be a character that everyone hates. He's meant to be brash, annoying, and awful. His one-shot comic demonstrates this perfectly, which I mostly want to tell you about because the tagline is "one shot is all he needs," which is so corny yet memorable, it's infuriating. Fight Man regularly destroys the city, injures the very people he's trying to help, is broke, so is constantly trying to sell merch that no one wants. He had to move back in with his parents and he doesn't even appreciate them. He had 15 sidekicks that he got killed, and the whole city eventually sues him. So yes, the hate, we have consensus, deserved. He's a terrible hero. He gets the job done, but at tremendous cost to the city. He also has Freakazoid's haircut. Fight Man is very 90s. He's meant to be a joke, and some of them do land. I think my favorite is when one of his villains comes down to the legal offices where he's trying to deal with his ex-wife, trying to get out of alimony, breaks down the wall and is all, "You better come out here or she's dead." And Fight Man is like, "Okay, fine, do it." So his villain goes, "Oh, okay, let's just have a normal fight then." The 90s was way more self-aware than people give it credit for. Number 9. Guy Gardner. So Guy Gardner is a Green Lantern. He first debuted in Green Lantern Volume 2, number 59 back in 1968, and he wasn't always the brash jerk he is known as today. That happened in the 80s when his character was completely revamped from, well, mild-mannered and not really being used to a, and I quote, jingoistic parody of an ultra-macho red-blooded American male. Quote time. "When I took over Green Lantern, John Stewart was the GL, but everybody expected Hal Jordan to come back and relegate John to backup duty once again. I decided that John deserved better. So I asked myself, why can't there be 2 GLs? And that led to, why can't there be more than 2? That eventually led to the GL Corps. But along the way I decided to resurrect the lost GL, Guy Gardner, who had been terminally bland and then brain damaged. A completely useless character as things stood. I was being a good soldier, trying to help my friend Dick Giordano sell the book. And it turned out to be the second biggest mistake of my entire career, because ever since, DC has claimed that since Joe and I didn't create the original Guy Gardner, our completely new take counts for nothing. But the damage was done. Guy was the jerk of every team he was on, knocked out by Batman with one punch. They've toned it down in recent years, but he's still considered hot-headed and a bit of a loose cannon, and well, rude. So it's understandable why some people hate him, particularly in canon. Still not over that him, Ice, and Superman love triangle. Lots of people like how Guy is because it makes him different. He definitely stands out. But when you need a hero, do you need someone who's gonna moon you and make fun of his allies who are doing poorly? He'll get the job done in a pinch. Hey, when you pull a massive character 180 like that and make it something other characters react to, it lands for some people and not for others. Number 8. STARFOX. Now whenever I put STARFOX on a list, people have strong feelings. And some people think I'm talking about the game for a moment, just a brief flash. STARFOX first debuted in Iron Man number 55 back in 1973. He is Eros, brother of Thanos, and well, people didn't think a lot about his pheromone date rape powers at first. This would become a plot point. STARFOX would be put on trial for sexual assault when married women came forward claiming that he had been using his powers on them to seduce them. The panels are quite horrifying. They don't even remember and he's all, "You're welcome, he just banged a superhero." He's being defended by Jennifer Walters, aka the She-Hulk, but then she starts to suspect that he used his powers like this on her. And you know what? She's not right. She just has poor judgment. STARFOX? Really, Jennifer? But she has to Hulk out and get him mind probed to find this out, which also mind probing, that's a whole other kettle of fish. But what he did do was he did make her fall in love with and marry John Jameson. You see what they did there? This was a way to retcon another marriage out of existence. Comics hate marriage unless you're reading Sue. But wait, this was all Thanos' fault. He implanted a memory in his mind that made him unstable, and that's why he used his powers this way, so not his fault. Yeah, that solved nothing. And whenever you make a character a rapist like this, you give the next writer an impossible task. A curveball, because in canon the characters don't want anything to do with him, and outside of it, people don't really want to either. It's a hard thing to get behind, especially with such a weak sauce explanation. False memories from a Thanos clone made him do it. If the memory is fake, we cannot litigate. He's still being sidelined because of this. People get mad about people not liking StarFox for this, because they feel like he was a good character who got dealt a bad arc, or also because of insert current year comics. Let's leave StarFox alone for now. Number 7, Deadpool. So Deadpool is a fan favorite with many people, but in universe, other people can't stand the merc with a mouth. They think he's insane. He has few friends. But you know whose friendship he didn't have to bribe? Cable. He had to bend over backwards for Spidey's, but that is neither here nor there. Most people in the Marvel universe find Deadpool annoying at best and dangerous at worst. Deadpool can be dark and he kills regularly and is up for hire. Just because, oh, he was married and oh, he had/has a daughter. Kids are always just one reboot away from being retconned out of existence. Less so at Marvel. At Marvel, it's more likely they're going to be sent outside the timeline to be hyper-aged. Again, Cable. At different points of Deadpool's history, he didn't even have his memory in order. He couldn't remember killing. In his alternate universe stories, he's killed all of the Marvel universe, even breaking the fourth wall to come for the writers. He can be abrasive, intrusive, and hinder rescue situations. So yeah, it's completely understandable why other heroes and characters find him hard to be around. Even people that do like him need a break. It's why characters who can stand him stand out so much. And of course, shipping. Spidey Pool is huge, bigger than Cable Pool, even after Deadpool 2. I need more Cable Pool. Their team-up comic before they get divorced is everything, and they call it a divorce, that's not me doing it. Number 6, Booster Gold. Booster Gold has had quite the journey in comics, and is, confession time, one of my favorite heroes. For a time, he was my favorite. Also, Heroes in Crisis did him no favors, or that Batman arc, The Gift, but I blame Tom King for that, not my Booster. He first debuted in Booster Gold #1 back in 1986, and was from the future, the 25th century, so actually the same time as the Reverse Flash. Fun fact. Booster came back to the past to pretend to be a hero because his life was falling apart. He'd been caught throwing sports matches, so he was working as a security guard at a museum, where he teamed up with a security robot, stole a bunch of tech, and went back in time to be a hero. But his real goal was to get famous. Booster was in it for the money and the fame, and he wasn't shy about letting people know about it. This led many to dislike him, and his untrained nature meant he wasn't the best in a fight. And he drew in so much press to them, by always staying for interviews and actively clamoring for them. Yeah, Batman hated him at the start. But over time, Booster would come to take his responsibilities seriously, and get caught up in some serious time travel shenanigans, and learn that, well, he can't just do what he wants, and the fame isn't worth anything without the people you care about. Ted Kord's death messed him up. But then, Rebirth. Rebirth Booster is not okay. He's more unstable, he's less responsible, and a bit back to being almost basic Booster. And also, the rest of the heroes don't like him too much again. Poor Booster, he's taken back to base so often, and whenever he gets adapted, it's always straight up 80s Booster. So yeah, depending upon the era, the hate for Booster 100% justified, especially by heroes with a very defined moral mission. Number 5, Raven. So Raven has a very specific complaint, usually by other teams, not the Teen Titans, though it does happen. And that's that she can't be trusted because of her father, Trigon, and how she is a conduit for him. And also, she has been overtaken by her dark half before, like the time she crashed Starfire and Dick's wedding and then made out with Starfire. Kelly talked about it in her scary Teen Titans facts list. Raven is an empath and has immense power. She is a powerful villain when she gives into her darker impulses. So it's understandable that certain heroes don't trust her, and if you go evil, well, I'd be cautious too. I'm with Batman, like not to that level of what if I had to kill all my teammates, but if you went evil once, it could happen again. Number 4, Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers. You need to be specific, there have been multiple Captain Marvels, and Shazam was actually the first Captain Marvel. Go Billy! So Carol's introduction to the MCU was controversial, but we'll leave that aside for now and focus on comic Carol, Captain Marvel. So Carol became Captain Marvel in 2012. It was super recent in comic terms. Before that, she was Ms. Marvel. Her and Tony were friends. That matters in a minute, bear with me. When she became Captain Marvel, her character was changed slightly. She was made more aggressive and dominant, but the really big changes came during Civil War II. Listen, you don't come out of Civil War looking good. Just ask all the people from Civil War I. And Carol was pretty fascistic in Civil War II. She played the role Tony played in Civil War I, and people came out of that hating him. From commanding Ms. Marvel to set up essentially a teenage Gestapo, and also very much overstepping boundaries in the life of a girl who admires her to the point that she will lie to her parents and family so that she can patrol at night rather than do her homework. Also, she beats Tony into a coma, and This really gets people because Tony was on the upswing of liking him since the MCU revamp, so people liked Tony at that point. So yeah, it just wasn't a good look. But the thing is, in canon, just like the last Civil War, people just had to get over it. The thing is, Captain Marvel's a little different, and this is a bit more fan hate because most people in the Marvel universe got over it fast. A few bring it up now and again, but she has like post-rebirth, his coming back to life rebirth, not DC rebirth, Hal Jordan protection. This happens when writers want a character to do well, so they can't bring up things that have happened in the past, their mistakes. Captain Marvel has been rebooted numerous times, at this point multiple #1s in the span of 6 years. She's ended up becoming a controversial character, and some people stay away because they just don't want to deal with it. I really liked her past arc with Tony where he helped her overcome alcoholism, but those days are long gone. But he's over it, he calls her Care Bear now. It's okay, Care Bear, I don't mind that coma. Number 3, Reed Richards. If you've watched my videos for a while, you know that me and Reed, we have beef. I'm a closet Fantastic Four villain. But Reed has done a lot that has made many in the superhero community side-eye him. He was on the Illuminati, that secret team that was trying to preemptively stop threats. He was part of that Council of Reeds, which had far too many evil versions of him on it for my comfort. He has a cache of some of the most powerful items in the Marvel Universe. Well, had. There was the portal to the Negative Zone in the Baxter Building. He exposed the members of the Fantastic Four to the cosmic rays on purpose. He helped build that alternate dimension prison for heroes who wouldn't register during Civil War I. Him and the Fantastic Four were put on trial for all the things they've caused. But, and it's a big but, he has recently been turned into Nice Guy Reed. You know, after God Emperor Doom and seeing his whole family die. He's turned over a new leaf. Seeing the Maker, the 1610 Ultimate vs. Reed, who is now evil, helped with that too. But he is Reed. His inventions and genius are calling. When people side-eye him, I get it. Deserved. Number 2, Hal Jordan. I love Hal Jordan, this is no secret. I also wish he had stayed dead. That too is no secret. It's complex, I know. So Hal went rogue after the destruction of Coast City during the whole death rebirth of Superman in the 90s. He also grew Reed Richards' hair streaks, always a bad sign, ended up killing the Corps and Sinestro, died in a quasi-redemption arc burning in the sun, then was the Spectre, then came back to life. The return was awesome. There was an emotion spectrum, eventually a Sinestro Corps war, but here's the thing. If you still distrusted him, you got flack for it in universe. Batman is treated like he's being extra for not trusting Hal when he literally killed the whole Corps. But what's happening with Hal these days? Well, he just destroyed the Corps, again, after he tried to arrest God and punched him in the face, then killed an innocent man. Green Lantern is interesting right now. They're all gonna be black stars, and it's cause of Hal. Yeah, I can see them being pretty mad about that. Hate, justified. Again. Number 1, the Hulk. The Hulk first debuted in the Incredible Hulk #1 back in 1962, and he's caused a lot of damage. The Hulk is a monster, something the immortal Hulk shows off to great effect. Yes, he has been heroic, and when in control he can do great things, but that slips a lot, and pretty much all his friends have tried to hunt him down, and faced off against him at one point or another. His whole task force is designed to take him down. He is feared even by his loved ones. He has multiple Hulks, with some more deadly than the ones people normally face inside him, and yet She-Hulk recently told him that he was petty for being jealous of her, because people hooted at her in the street. So yeah, even his family isn't sympathetic to him. Hulk is most hated there is. Poor Hulk, but yeah, it makes sense. There's an in-canon thing where he doesn't kill, but it's very much an okay, sure, this is so we can like him thing, like Hal was Parallax, or the Phoenix was a force, or it was Thanos' clone's memory. They're all alive, like the people in Man of Steel or all these victims from season 1 of Arrow. One guy got an arrow to the neck, he's fine. So those were the top 10 superheroes who deserve the hate they get. It was a doozy. Share your passionate disagreement down below. And which hero do you think deserves more hate? Let me know. Thanks so much for watching Top 10 Nerd. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification so that you never miss a vid, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.